This is a great question. I've been meaning to get back to it. So how do you find conferences to attend? First off, I'll say that I got started in the conference scene pretty early. I started attending conferences, I think as early as high school. And at that time, the conferences were really tailored to student-led organizations and affinity groups. I was always a part of a Black student union in middle school, high school, college. And so there were a handful of conferences that were national conferences to bring together student-led organizations and affinity groups by interest. So if you happen to be a part of the student population right now, you're in high school or you're in college and you want to start getting into the conference scene, I recommend, if you have a career resource center or a career counselor or access to anything like that, see if they can help you discover conferences that you can participate in. But if you're not in the student population and you're a working professional or just an independent adult and you're looking for conferences to attend, the first thing I'd say to do when you're making a decision about which conferences to invest in is to ask yourself what your goal is or what you're seeking as an output from your conference experience. It's one thing if you're looking for real actionable advice, very thorough industry-specific information and resources, and you're looking to network and make connections with people that you can maintain contact with after the conference experience is over and potentially find a mentor or find a new job or something like that. Another experience that's just as valuable but is different from that is going to conferences to get inspired, to build momentum, to learn high-level information that will help you make high-level decisions about what trajectory you want to go, and honestly to have fun and be entertained. And this is not to say that you can't get some of both of those experiences from a conference, but I think if you know what your sights are set on, it'll help you manage your expectations and help you make decisions about what's worth the investment and what's not. For instance, I've gone to conferences like CultureCon, Afrotech, TED, Create and Cultivate, Seattle Interactive Conference, and I've had a range of different experiences. But there have definitely been some events where I've walked away from it and thought, okay, that was more of an experiential marketing tactic for that conference brand and less so of like a resource abundant networking opportunity that's meant to kind of propel me forward in this category or career. So one thing that can be helpful if you're on the fence about paying a registration fee for a conference because you're not sure what you're going to get out of it is to see if you can look up attendee reviews from the conference. One way to start that is if the conference has an Instagram presence, for instance, just look up the hashtag and see what people have posted about it, see what people have said about it. Or there may be reviews that you can Google. But either way, one thing that I think is really helpful when you're trying to make a decision about whether a conference is worth it is to see what other people have said and to first be clear about what you're hoping to get out of it. If you're looking for a conference experience that's a little bit more about networking and career advancement for yourself, I highly recommend looking in your local or regional area first. So that can just be as simple as Googling conferences in blank industry in whatever your city is. And the reason that I recommend that if you're really looking to get the most out of a conference experience is because you're more likely to meet people there who work in or reside in your area and would be more readily available to a relationship after the conference as well. And if you're trying to build relationships with potential mentors or potential job opportunities, then you want to be somewhere in close proximity to the people who hold the keys to the opportunity you're looking for. Whereas if you go to a more consumer-friendly conference that's outside of your state, you may make some great friends, you may walk away with a lot of inspiration, and you may walk away with social media connections that you stay in contact with, but you may be a little less likely to forge connections that are going to prove valuable and meaningful in your day-to-day life. I hope that helps a little bit. If y'all have other questions about networking at conferences or networking in general to up-level your personal brand, please drop them down in the comments and let me know. And if you want more content like this, then definitely follow. Mwah.